What does your week in work look like? Is every day the same or does it vary? Have you applied a structure that works for you? And can you stay in control of it? In this video, in the second episode of the Stay on Top series, I want to cover 3 things. What does the ideal day look like? Every day shouldn't be the same. And can we stick to it? Hi, I'm Jill, and if you're new here, this channel is all about trying to do life right with more of a focus on work life. So if you like the vibes, you like the content, you feel that it's relevant for you, please subscribe and hit that like button. Straight into it, the ideal day. What would this look like if you could set it up? What would your week look like if you controlled it and you set it up whatever way you wanted? Now, this isn't a new concept. It has been talked about a lot. But have you actually given it some thought? What time of day would you block off for yourself? What time of day would you rather have free for meetings? What time of day are you most productive? What I would like to do, and I'm going to do it now, if I was starting from scratch again, and I wanted to actually see what was important, what I wanted to have in my day, I'm going to map it out. And I really encourage you to do the same. There are 3 things, and as you can see, I like the number 3, it works well for these videos, but there are 3 things that I find that I need to have every day. And the first one of these is time for planning and prioritizing. The second being that I want to have time to focus on what's important and actually do work that moves that needle. And I want to have time to talk to people, so whether that's just simple one-to-ones where someone just needs to be heard and I listen, project meetings, client meetings, actionable meetings, anything that needs a decision to be made, I want to make sure I've got time for that. So these are the 3 things that I'm going to map out into my ideal day. And I'm going to do this a little bit backward to start with. So at the end of the day, so say at 4:30, I will pop a block in for about 15 minutes and that will give me a quick scan of the next day and kind of plan that in my head so I get into the right mindset to prepare for the next day. Then the following morning, I will pop another, say, 15 minutes block in at about 8:30, and that will prioritize all the tasks that have popped up into my day in Microsoft To Do, because these are all automatically populated with that date of that day, and then I will shuffle them about in the priority that I want to do them. I'm fairly flexible with this though, so if you've watched the first episode of the Stay on Top series, Clear Your Head and Move, you will have noticed that I actually do this, shuffle my priorities, when I'm doing my morning walk. If that hasn't worked out and I haven't been able to do that, then I would do them over a cup of tea after the family breakfast. And if that doesn't work, worst case, I will do it when I get into the office at my desk and shuffle those priorities. Now this is absolute worst case and it happens very, very rarely because I try to avoid this because I would consider it a bad start to my day. Moving on to focused work. So I am most productive in the morning. I don't want to see anything else, preferably anybody either. I want to get straight into the first task that's on my priority list, and I will stick a chunk of time in from 9:15 till about 11 called focused work to do exactly that, where I block everything else out and I do that work that moves that needle. And lastly, meetings. Meetings aren't going anywhere. I know they annoy a lot of people because we have so many meetings. We can make meetings more efficient, but that is an entirely different video. But for this, we need to have meetings. We need places to have decisions to be made. We need places where we can converse and riff off each other and be inspired by each other. And I like to have a slot straight after my focused work in the morning, so say about 11 till 12, not a very big slot. I like to have my biggest slot in the afternoon from 2 until 4 because that is when I'm most present after I've got most of my work done for the day. In my opinion, every day shouldn't be the same. And for me, I have one day of the week that's completely different than the rest, and that is a Friday. And I'll go into this in a lot more detail in another video, but at a high level, my Friday is reflecting on the week that I've just had and looking ahead. I need to have this day to stay on top of everything, and it's kept completely separate from the rest of my week. There are several really important tasks that I complete on a Friday, and it helps me plan ahead to remain in that state of proactiveness and avoiding at all costs any form of reactivity and firefighting. The other 4 days, Monday through Thursday, are all the same, and having this rhythm has made it such a habit that it's almost robotic, and I don't have to think about it at all, and I can take the thinking out of it, and then it's all about the action. And lastly, can we stick to it? Can I stick to this ideal week? The short answer for me is yes. My ideal week reflects what I need to do as part of my role, and the main part of that is being available to serve my teams that report into me, to be available for stakeholders such as clients and our leadership team because I report into them, and I want to be able to prioritize that time to be available for them. And the time for focused work is fluid. Some days I use all of the time allotted for that day for focused work and more. Other days I have time and I bring work forward from the next day. And other days I don't need it all and I focus on self-development. So it really just depends. Your ideal week should be reflective of your role. If it isn't and they actually go against each other, it's very unlikely you're going to be able to stick to it. Your ideal week should be tailored to your business's needs. Otherwise, they are always going to be in conflict with each other. I really hope you found this useful. The calendar is foundational to the Stay on Top series, so it is so important that we get this piece right for both you and me. The next episode will flow naturally into the to-do list, and I hope to see you there. Bye.